welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna have a look at my brand new truck, at least new for me. It's a 2020 Ram Rebel with the, I think this is called the black package. I'm not sure, night edition on some Rams, but I think the Rebel is called the black package. Now you might be wondering, why would I go from a Tesla Model 3 into a 5.7 liter V8 truck? Well, there is a good reason for that, and that's what I want to explain in this video. But first, let's have a look at the truck here and what it is. It's of course a 2020 Ram Rebel with the night or black edition. That means that this part right here, for example, is all black instead of silver, and you have the skid plate down here, which is steel, and of course the wheels are now all black instead of having these patches here being silver on a regular Rebel without the black package. And it's all black all around, as you can see, and the interior as well is black, and the tailpipe also black, of course. And I just love this V8 rumble. Say I haven't missed that sound. More on that later. Quickly jump inside and let's see what's going on here. So this is the interior. It's all black here as well. When I bought it, I thought it's going to be a little bit too much black in here, but actually I think it looks really good. The Rebel comes with the red interior. Parts of this seats are red, and some have some red stitching here and some red trim as well, but this is all black, as you can see. And I didn't get the leather here because I didn't want the leather. If I could choose, I would love to have the whole seat be fabric. And here we have the 12.4 inch, I believe this is. I'm not gonna talk too much about the interior here because there are several thousands of videos on that on YouTube from people doing it a lot better. You know, we can have a look at the rear seat here, and so much space in the back. Crazy the amount of leg room that you have here. And you have the vents there as well, all black, pretty standard stuff right there. And I got the bed cover as well, and we have the bed. This has some bed liner in it already, which is perfect. Now you might ask, why did I get this truck instead and traded my Tesla Model 3 for a truck? Well, here in Florida, I don't really see the necessity of having a truck unless you do a lot of off-roading, unless you want to lift it up and go on some long road trips. I don't really see the need for a massive truck like this. But the thing is, we don't plan on staying in Florida next year. We're planning on going a little bit west and a little bit north, hint hint. And where we're going, we're gonna have to need, I'm gonna need to have a four-wheel drive truck. The plan is to make this into a I guess it's going to be a third channel eventually, and I'm gonna take this all over the middle to west part of the US and just go road tripping, maybe even make it into some sort of overland truck next year with some tent on the roof, some stuff in the rear. I'm not really sure. I have to do all the research for that, but so far what I can tell you about the truck is that I absolutely love the truck. It's my first ever truck. They say once you have a truck and once you own a truck, you really don't want to go back to a regular car, and I can definitely see why. It's such a convenient vehicle. It feels like you're the king of the road when you're inside of it and driving it. And of course you have that Hemi 5.7 liter V8 with 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. Now, I know that within the truck world there are a lot of brand loyalty, and there are people that would say that you got the wrong truck and you should have picked another brand, Ram isn't reliable, and so on. For me personally, when it comes to trucks like this and what is GMC Sierra, you have the Silverado, you have the F-150, there are several reasons why I wanted to pick this, because all of them do what I need them to do. They all have that covered. So when it comes down to it, my decision was all pretty much based on comfort and design. So when we look at the design of this, it just looks too good compared to the rest of the lineup, the rest of the competition. If I were to buy a F-150, for example, or a Sierra or a Silverado, what I would think when I was pulling up next to this in a red light, I would always go like, dang, I think I bought the wrong truck, because this would look so much better than the truck I would be in if I wasn't to pick this. On top of that, the front end of this is one of the best looking front ends of any truck. The reason being, it's more of a horizontal features on this truck. When we have the F-150, you have the lines and the headlights going down, cutting into the bumper. But here you have two horizontal pieces. You have the top parts, you have the lower part. This makes it look wider than what it is. And not necessarily that needs to, but it looks better that way, in my opinion. I just love the front end, and these LEDs as well, the daytime running lights right here, very signature Ram, something that I've loved ever since I saw the previous generation Rebel. When I first moved here to the US and I saw these trucks, I thought they look fantastic compared to the other ones. Another reason why I wanted to get the Ram Rebel or the 1500 here is because we have coil springs in the rear. So the reason why I want coil springs in the rear is I'm not gonna be loading this up with 30 tons of stuff in the bed ever. That's not gonna happen. So I don't need the leaf spring functionality and the added loading capacity or something like that. Well, what this does, it does everything I need it to be. Coil springs makes it a lot more comfortable on the highway and just driving around in general, and it just feels a lot better on the road. And it doesn't have this, when you go over a bump, if you have leaf springs, usually when you go over a bump and it doesn't have any load in it, it's gonna shake the whole rear end, and I didn't want that really truck feeling of the ride quality. So that's another reason why I wanted to have the Ram Rebel. A third reason has to do with the tailpipes. If you look at the F-150, I know that has it. The Silverado has kind of similar setup to this. But what I love about the Ram Rebel here specifically is the simplicity of the design. So we have two round tailpipes, and I love the look of this rear end. Usually F-150, unless it's the Raptor, you have the exhaust coming out right here on the side, and I never really been a fan of that look because it kind of looks a little weird. Here you have symmetry. It's just a beautiful looking truck, in my opinion. And then, of course, a fourth reason for I choose the Rebel is because of the off-road capabilities. You have the 33-inch Wrangler, Goodyear Wrangler tires here with the 18-inch wheels, which look absolutely fantastic. I don't think I'm going to switch those out. They are super comfortable on the highway. They don't make a lot of noise, and they seem to be a perfect compromise between pretty aggressive tires and also highway comfort and road noise. One thing I might consider doing, I'm not really sure yet, is to have a leveling kit on the truck. So if you see that the front end sits a little lower than the rear end, this is normal for trucks, but if you raise up the front end by maybe 1 or 2 inches, it's going to have the same kind of level as the tail. But I'm not sure if I want that yet, because I like at the moment the way I look out from the driver's seat and I can see pretty much all the road in front of me. If I raise it up, I'm gonna reduce that angle, and I'm not really sure if I want that yet. This still looks very, very cool this way, even if it has this raked look. Of course, one thing that I completely forgot to mention why I picked the Ram over any of the competition is this interior here. It's just such a nice interior, and it's not just a nice interior for a truck, it's overall just a fantastic interior. And you can't really compare this, specifically not with the Silverado, the 2021. I'm glad they finally updated to the 2022 model with a brand new interior that doesn't look like it's comes from 1996, which the 2021 Silverado does. It's just insane how they actually managed to get any sales with that type of interior. But that's another part why I wanted the Ram, and of course the noise. We have a V8 back in my life, and that never gets old. So what are the plans with the 1500 Rebel here? Well, as I said, we're not planning on staying here in Florida. We're planning on moving early or spring of next year, and I really cannot wait for that. I'm also excited actually to honestly create my third channel, because that's going to be a channel that has nothing really to do with cars or design. It's going to be more of a just finding cool off-road trails around and in Colorado, and there is so much to see in that area. Florida is very narrow. You feel kind of claustrophobic here because you can't really go anywhere. There is no way to move either east or west. But if you're in Colorado, you have the Grand Canyon, you have New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. There are so many places that I will want to see. And that's the main reason why I had to get rid of the Tesla, obviously, and get something that is four-wheel drive. I still loved the Tesla. It was a fantastic car, the best car I've ever owned. But this is the best, of course, truck I've ever owned, because it's the only truck I've ever owned, and I'm still already madly in love with this machine. I can't wait to take it on a lot of adventures moving forward.